What's up, guys? I'm gonna try something new. There's a ton of stuff I do per week that I don't film, that I don't show, and I'm going to start showing you. The reason being is that when I first started this channel, my goal was this: 2 videos a month for 5 years. And man, oh man, I'm lucky to get 5 videos a year nowadays. Now, why is that? My last video absolutely tanked. Now, it's good content, but I've had worse content get way more views. I think the problem is I'm just not putting my stuff out there like I used to. So that's going to change. And these are projects that I ordinarily wouldn't film. Okay? I'm going to do a whole series on this. It's going to start now. It's going to be a little off the cuff too. So what I mean by that is that if it's not even locked. I mean, it's not even unlocked. If I could do this. This vehicle here, it's a 2013 Porsche Cayenne, and this is why, I did this thing where I traded in a Suburban, a 2020 Suburban that was an unbelievable family car, and I swapped it evenly with this. Difference of about 15 to 20,000 miles. And so why did I do that? Well, let me show you. Ready? That's why. Because this vehicle, has a manual transmission. Now, maybe it wasn't the right decision, but I think it was. The vehicle I sold, or that I traded, is now on their lot still for less than I traded it for sale. And this vehicle, one kind of like it, different color. It was green, had a few, like 20,000 miles less. Same manual, just sold for $125,000 on Cars and Bids. Wow. Now, I'm not saying this base model Cayenne's ever going to get that. Plus, I love this thing. Probably never going to get rid of it. But it makes it to where I gotta do stuff like this, or I can tow things with a trailer, which I need to get a small utility trailer. I have a big cargo one. It's just got a bunch of stuff in it. But yeah, I told you it was going to be off the cuff. So we're going to take these 1x8s. We're going to go make something kind of interesting. And here we go. I gotta put them in moving blankets, you know. All right, so I've got these in the shop. However, this is part of the daily routine. Maybe not this project directly, but cutting things on this all the time. This is an Avid CNC. This is going to be a barbecue caddy. At least these are the fronts and backs. More on this later for sure. So I'm going to get this up, get this started, and then we're going to finally do something with these things right here. So this is kind of a cool wood here on the CNC. This stuff's called Duraply, and its name does mean something. It's durable. It lasts outdoors for 15 years without delamination, and it's pretty awesome. The company Garnica supplied me with some of this wood to make these barbecue caddies for one of their conferences coming up in October. And so we're getting these done now. But in between all this, life goes on, right? So I got another client build here that I'm using these 1x8s for. I'm going to simply cut them down here on the table saw, and then I'm going to rip them into 1x4s. It was actually cheaper to buy bigger material and rip it down myself than to buy them individually cut, which is the case in a lot of cases. Is the case in a lot of cases. Anyway, this is going to be a pretty big project. It's going to be a 7x4 foot mural, if you will. It's going to be a topography map of Duval County, where I live here in Jacksonville, and the client that's going to end up getting it is actually not my client. I'm working with another guy who does a moss wall, and you'll see more of that in another episode of this, because by the time I deliver this, it won't be finished. So you can see there I'm using a marking knife to make really precise cuts on a piece that's kind of rustic, which doesn't make much sense, but a pencil would have worked. Either way, pretty cool stuff. And here's my first mistake. Well, I'm going to go ahead and tack it in place and use some glue, and I realized when I come over here, I didn't put that piece in the right spot. It needs to be raised up by about 3/4 of an inch because, yes, the French cleat king strikes again. That's me. I am cleating this thing as per the request to make it easy for the customer to hang. Why not? So with a quick angle grind of the loose nails that needed to come back out, I wasn't going to try to rip them out. Sometimes it's just easier to cut them off like that. Now I've got it raised up with some material that I'm using for the cleats, and you can see the difference much, much better. I'm going to repeat this process on the other side using some of this new Boss Dog glue. Just got introduced to this stuff. I know Nick actually lives just maybe a half-hour drive away from me actually here, and he is the curator of this product. It's pretty cool. I'll put a link down below to it. Either way, we're going to go ahead and get this thing framed up. This is a pretty simple construction, man. I mean, glue, brads, you get it. You've all done this before, and if you haven't, I recommend you do it. It's kind of the gateway into woodworking, a brad nailer, because it's kind of like magic. With a little bit of air pressure, you can join pieces together pretty simply, and it's awesome. So here's a little problem you might incur with dimensional lumber where you can't quite get these things to line up without the right pressure. I'm using my thumb here to bring it back, but I don't feel confident shooting a nail in there while holding it there with my hand. So using a simple clamp and clamping it all in place like this, once the glue's in there, I'm going to then put some brad nails, because I'm a psycho. I'm going to put 6 of them in here. I am going to put wood filler and kind of get all this stuff cleared up and painted, but I mean, I didn't need to do that. That's pretty crazy. So anyhow, we're going to go ahead and raise this thing up, like I said, and we're going to put a cleat on the back. Now, where the cleats come from, well, I make them. And if you want to get cleats for yourself, you don't feel like putting, you know, a 45 degree on your table saw and ripping it, or you don't really have the capacity to do so, but you want some cleats lying around for easily hanging things, I got you covered. Looks like I've got to make more. Usually this thing is stacked up to the brim, but you can go to my website right now and check out our cleat selection, and a whole bunch of items that actually go on French cleats as well. Anyway, I digress. We're going to get back to it. And this is my daughter's new birthday present from a few months ago, and he is just the coolest little thing. His name's Franklin. Anyway, back to the cleat. So you join these 45 degree angle pieces to the back of anything heavy or awkward, where it makes it so much easier to hang it up. Basically, another piece of 45 degree will be on the wall in the opposite direction, and you lift it up and over, and it sits in place very simply and very easily. The client requested these cleats, and why not? It just makes things that much easier. So I've got the piece actually flipped back over. I'm taking some careful measurements because I have to inlay inside here this right here. This is a moss wall that's going to be installed. I'm not doing the moss, but I am doing the layout. And I've got a laser cut 3 large pieces that I'm going to install to give the moss installers something to go by. So the first of 3 pieces, as you see, going into the Thunder laser, we're going to just go ahead and place the laser placement that we need and cut it out just like so. This is 1 of 3, and I repeat this over and over until I get the actual layout that I need. I'm going to go put these in place, kind of using the negative spaces to kind of put where I need to. As you can see, everything goes in pretty well. And then I take out where the river is going to be. And so the river is going to be recessed. So the dark wood is the water, and the light wood is going to be the land, if you will. Everything goes in place like this, and to install it, just some glue and some pin nails. Process goes pretty simply. Okay, so with the 3 pieces in place, and you can see the topography of the rivers there, it looks pretty cool. I'm going to go ahead and pour some glue down on the first one, as this is the largest panel to go in. I'm going to go ahead and scrape it all in place, and then tack it in place with some pin nails. Now you might be looking at this and saying, well, it doesn't look exactly perfect. Like the lines, well, you know what? Here's the deal. It's close. And the moss that's going in there, which I will update you guys when they finish it, might be in a week or 2. I'll show video, the next video I do on this series, I will show that, at least pictures of it, to show you how it all turned out. Well, they're just following a guideline, and they need the moss to be recessed just by 1/4 of an inch, and so it should be pretty cool. Anyway, tacking everything in place with glue and pin nails, and, you know, I didn't miss a piece. I thought maybe when I would, raise it up, something would fall, but I didn't miss a single one, which is great. And here's how I make the wood filler. I use some of that glue from Boss Dog again. I mix it with some of the sawdust from a dust collector, and then I just kind of plug it in place. You can buy wood filler, or you can make your own, whatever you want to do. Making it is pretty economical, pretty simple. And just put it in place, let it dry for about a half hour, and then sand everything flush. Now, I need to raise this thing up after I've sanded everything because I need to paint it. And I'm using this new product called bench nuts from Carbon Method. These are pieces of foam that really, they're super versatile. You can put them to raise things up. They're non-skid, so if you're doing some sanding, put a piece down, put 4 of them down at the corners and sand away. You won't be disappointed. Again, I'm going to put links to the bench nuts underneath as well. And here is the process. These are, well, basically this is 3 coats of white paint, interior paint, just simple eggshell stuff. And once this cured overnight, I wrapped it up and it's ready for delivery. Okay, so stretch wrap is a beautiful thing. You guys know that I love this stuff. If you order from me, because all my packs come wrapped up in it. Here is some progress on the CNC. Now I'm making 50 of these barbecue caddies. Here we go. So this is a multi-part cut with a 1/4 inch and an 1/8 inch bit, and everything goes together. You can see there, pretty nice. Orbital sander mount instructions. Pretty cool. Little QR codes. the beauty of this laser, is that you can make these QR codes, and then when people scan them with their smartphone, good to go. Those are included in each one. Like I said, this video, just kind of things that I do that I never really show, and I think it might have some value to you guys. Oh boy, I'm out of wood. Time to go cut some down. The next day. All right, morning. So we're gonna cut down some material, and sometimes if you're able to order whole units, I just have them delivered here at the shop, and now I don't have room for them in there, but I do keep them outside, and I wrap them strategically with plastic wrap and tarps, and guess what? I've been doing this for over a year, and it works. Pretty crazy. Now it's time to cut some of this down. So the first layer of defense is the tarp, and I've left the cardboard on the top, and I keep that on there just in case. And then I stretch wrap from the bottom up. Gotta go bottom up because you do not want the rain seeping in at all. I wrap this thing with probably 4 layers all the way up. So if you're about to cut a bunch of sheet goods with a track saw, and you do this repeatedly like I do, which I don't know if you're doing that, but if you do, either way, I like to make positive marks on this, meaning that when I put this up here, I know for a fact that I don't have a pencil. I got a challenge for you. So if you have an unsharpened pencil, how many cuts does it take to actually get a usable pencil? Like fewest wins, right? So let's try this out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Is it usable? Not quite. 8. I did this in 8 cuts. Can you do better? Put it in the comments. Okay, now that we got a pencil here, basically I come up and I take a mark, I flip it over and repeat the exact same thing on the other side, you know, for consistency. And I'll zoom you in here in a second. So the 2 marks I just made, I'm going to put a mark right in the middle, and that's where I need to cut. I'll give you a look-see. There you go. Every time, that's going to be dead center between these 2 marks. I will say, getting full stacks delivered is really advantageous because you don't have to reshuffle these boards from the store here back to get perfect to make cuts on multiple boards. So you want these cuts to be exactly the same all the way across, and if it's pre-stacked, I mean, yeah, there's some inconsistencies, but you just take a dead blow and just hit it across. Should be good. As tall as I am, which isn't very tall, only 6'1", I still got to get up on a thing to reach all the way across. So with all the wood now cut down, it's time to get back to making these barbecue caddies. Now, believe this or not, this idea of a barbecue caddy was so cool to me that I actually made a variation of this on my website. It is a little different. It's designed differently than the ones I'm giving out at the trade show. It actually has cleats on the back, so you can put it up on the wall. I'll show you a few pictures here. It is available for sale right now on the website, along with my upside down orbital sander mount, which is, yes, 40% off, because I've been doing this for 4 years now as an entrepreneur and a solo business owner, and I want to get as many of these upside down mounts into the world as possible, and they're on sale, so check them out. I could just show you this process in reverse and not do new footage. Why would I do that? I'm going to show you how to cover up wood, riveting stuff. No, seriously, this is how it goes. If you're looking to protect your plywood outside, okay, I do keep as many source materials as I can, meaning I keep this thing here, and not that it matters, it's cardboard, and then now these tarps are from Tractor Supply, and to me, I feel like they're the thickest and most durable of the bunch. Put it on as even as possible, and then I just use some squeeze clamps to keep everything in place. I've had units last a year like this, with no harm, no foul. You know what I wish I had is an automatic tool changer for this thing. This thing requires a 1/4 inch and an 1/8 inch bit over and over again to make all of these intricate cuts, and I think Avid's coming out with one very soon. We shall see. If I'm in the works to maybe test one out, that would be amazing. But anyway, these are the parts for the upside down sander mount, and they are quite fun to make. So as the CNC is just rip roaring this morning, this video is kind of not really a behind the scenes, but it's kind of more or less what exactly is going on here, right? So I don't always just make a bunch of products and sell them on the website, although that is the business model. There's a ton of other things that happen that I never show you. And I feel like it's time to kind of let you guys know what's going on. So a buddy of mine, Drew Witt, you might know him, Wittworks, probably the best filmmaker in our industry at this moment. Dude makes amazing videos, and you should definitely go check him out. Reached out the other day, said, dude, I need some hooks for some ducting he's working on, and I whipped it up that evening. And he was super complimentary of the design. I even incorporated a little bit of his logos architecture in the design as well. Just something thoughtful, and I'm shipping those out to him today. Here's what they look like, and I don't know, is it something that you think maybe I should put out? I don't know, maybe. Pretty cool. Hooks to hang ducting, who knows? Anyway, another thing was a bakery reached out on the website through email, said, hey, can you make us a tray to shove butter into so we can make croissants? And I said, yes, absolutely. And that's what that is. That's pretty dang cool too. So that's being etched right now, and it's also being finished with mineral oil. Basically what you do is you lay some saran wrap down, you stuff butter into it, you level it off, you take it out, and you layer in croissant dough over and over again. Cool process. I've actually been invited to their grand opening coming up in a week or two. I think I'm gonna try to make that. So yeah, just a couple little other things that happen, and I hope you enjoy. To honestly answer your question about what's going on here, or my question that I posed in the beginning of the video, is we are still up and running as a business. However, a couple things have happened this year why sales have been down. We are 16 to 20% down over last year. Two reasons why. One, when the whole tariff thing happened, I'm not going to get into it, but it just kind of freezed buying from consumers, and I noticed that pretty big. The second thing is my whole business ethos is based upon the French cleat system, and a recent competitor a few months back came out with basically everything that I do is now what he's doing. It's an aluminum French cleat system, and I noticed the day that launched, man, the French cleat, the OG, the wood stuff that I've been making, we did see a dip in sales on that, and it did hurt us pretty good. So I appreciate each and every one of you that come to our website and do and really support us, because it means the absolute world. So this year's been a trying year, and I've taken on more random projects like you saw in there in this video to help support us, and it is the best feeling in the world still to be able to be an entrepreneur and to do this full time. It is a luxury, I understand, and it is a job that I am fully committed to bring you guys what I think are some of the best maker products in the space. And I appreciate you, every one of you. Thanks again. All the deals are down below, plus the small businesses that I'm supporting. Y'all have a great one. See ya.